One thing that we have yet to really delve into tonight is the balance of power in Colorado's legislature. So as it stands now, of course, Colorado has a Democratic governor, Jared Polis, and Democrats control both houses up at the legislature. In the House, they have a supermajority, which just means that they have the ability to override a gubernatorial veto. They have the ability to put an issue on the ballot without any votes from the minority party. And they're looking to pick up enough seats in the state Senate in order to have a supermajority there as well. Marshall Zelinger, we're talking about generations since one party has had that kind of control over Colorado politics.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't very long ago where we were talking about split power at the state legislature, one party having the House, one party having the Senate. All 65 seats in the state House are up every 2 years. These dots are the state Senate, where half of the seats are up for election. And when I go to the tab for up for election, you can see these are the green seats. Some are currently held, some are open seats, but all the Democrats need to do in the state Senate is maintain what they have and add one more. And then there would be the supermajority in the state Senate. And if the House holds the way it is, they would have the supermajority in the House. And then Democrats control Colorado in a way. State Senator Barb Kirkmeyer, you are one of the top Republicans in the state Senate. What is your biggest concern what's the biggest concern you would have of a supermajority?
There's actually kind of three things that occur in when you go into a super minority and the others are in a super majority. One, they can override a veto of the governor. So,
but they're in the same. I mean, that's rare. That they're on. They seem lockstep almost.
No, they're not really. So when the governor vetoes one of the Democrats' bills, like he's done in the past, I think he did like 10 bills this last year and 9 the year before. They can bring that back and override the governor's veto, and we would have nothing to say about it. The other thing is they can refer a measure to the ballot that is constitutional, because it takes 65%, and they would have the 65% in both chambers, and they'd be able to refer things like, let's say, get rid of Tabor, or to put more things like, the Wolf's reintroduction on, and, the 127, those types of things that we're talking about, and just automatically refer those directly to the ballot. So that's an issue. And then lastly, the third thing that they could do if we're in a super minority in the Senate is cut off debate. They can change all the rules and they can cut debate, which I think is unfair. The voice of all Coloradoans then isn't necessarily being heard or being represented, because we could be basically in a position where we can't filibuster, where we can't have any really true debate on issues on the floor.
I will say there are certain journalists at this station right here that you're sitting next to that call them out when stuff like that happens, when it doesn't normally happen, usually toward the end of session. I'll ask State Representative Jennifer Bacon, the flip side of that. Is there a concern of having all that power, taking the sword out of the stone? Do you not want that power?
I don't think we're thinking about how much power we have. I think what we're thinking about is how are you going to adequately represent our neighbors across the state. Interestingly, voters put us there. And so we really want to respect what our neighbors think are important in the state, and we want to act accordingly. So again, on behalf of the Democrats, we're not necessarily seeking to be a supermajority, but we're seeking to be representative. Our caucus is filled with teachers, veterans, people who love their environment, people who believe that our elders should be taken care of. And so the fact that voters put us there really should send a signal in regards to what we need here. And we, again, just want to act accordingly. So we are grateful for the support. And we are also grateful that we are setting terms for the state of Colorado in regards to where we need to go over the next 5-10 years.
And one last thing before we look at other results. If you had the supermajority, are Democrats like, yeah, we don't have to listen to one thing a Republican says anymore? Or is it, yeah, take that, Governor Polis, we're going to veto anything you don't like that your own party gives you?
I think at the end of the day, we are not in the interest of silencing voices. That is not something that the Democrats believe in. We do not want to exclude or kick people out. We believe in inclusivity. It's important for me to visit Senator Pelton's community, which I do regularly. And so what we are looking forward to is, again, responding to our neighbors, figuring out where we can go for the next 5 years, and what tools do we have to get there. It is a critical time, and we are looking for every opportunity to represent.
Well, we have an article on 9news.com that our web director, Marissa Solomon, put together identifying some of the key races in the state legislature that we're watching, and I'll try to update some of those races throughout the night. But the state legislature balance of power, we still can't predict it yet because there are some smaller counties that haven't reported in some of the rural areas that will identify whether or not there is a swing or not. But we'll try to update that by the end of the night.